Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to one of the most extraordinary moments the world of tennis has witnessed in recent years. Right now, in the heart of France, history is unfolding before our very eyes. A country that has spent generations celebrating legendary champions, iconic rivalries, and the biggest superstars in global sports has suddenly found itself captivated by someone entirely new. The streets of Paris are overflowing with energy. Airports are packed. Practice sessions at Roland Garros are turning into scenes of complete chaos. Thousands upon thousands of fans are gathering everywhere for one reason and one reason only. They are not here for Novak Djokovic. They are not here for Carlos Alcaraz. They are not even here for the hometown French favorites. No, they have come to witness the rise of a 20-year-old phenomenon who is taking over the sport in ways nobody could have predicted. Her name is Alexandra Eala, and wherever she goes, an unbelievable wave of passion follows behind her. The atmosphere surrounding her arrival in France has become something truly unprecedented. The kind of global excitement usually reserved for music icons, football legends, or Olympic heroes. When Alexandra Eala landed in France ahead of the 2026 French Open, the scenes were absolutely breathtaking. Fans flooded the airport in massive numbers, waving Filipino flags, chanting her name, recording every moment on their phones, and cheering so loudly that videos instantly exploded across social media platforms around the world. The clips went viral within hours. Many people watching online could hardly believe what they were seeing. Airport terminals became seas of red, blue, and white. Security struggled to control the crowds. Reporters rushed to capture every second of the chaos. Even seasoned tournament organizers and French media outlets were left stunned. How could a player so young, someone making only her second major appearance in Paris, command this level of devotion? How could one rising tennis star generate the kind of electricity normally associated with world-famous celebrities? The answer goes far beyond tennis. Alexandra Eala is no longer simply a promising athlete. She has become a symbol of hope, pride, and inspiration for millions of Filipinos around the globe. From Manila to Paris, from Dubai to Toronto, from London to Los Angeles, the Filipino community has united behind her journey in a way the sports world rarely witnesses. Every match she plays feels bigger than tennis itself. Every victory becomes a celebration shared across continents. And now, as the 2026 French Open begins, one thing has become crystal clear. Alexandra Eala is not just participating in this tournament. She is becoming the story of the tournament. The energy surrounding her is growing larger by the day. Fans are camping outside practice courts for hours just to catch a glimpse of her training sessions. French spectators who had never heard her name only months ago are now rushing to learn more about the young superstar captivating an entire nation. Television cameras follow her every move. Social media engagement surrounding her matches is skyrocketing. Everywhere she appears, the crowds become louder, larger, and more emotional. This is more than hype. This is more than fandom. This is the arrival of a global sports sensation. And if the opening days in Paris are any indication, Alexandra Eala's story is only just beginning. A global community that has finally found an undeniable, unstoppable tennis champion to rally behind. And now, everywhere Alexandra Eala goes, the energy surrounding her feels almost unreal. Every single practice session she attends has turned into a full-scale spectacle. Recently at Roland Garros, tournament officials were forced to manage enormous crowds of fans gathering simply to watch her practice. Imagine that for a moment. Thousands of people packing around practice courts just to see a young player rally a few tennis balls. The atmosphere resembles a championship final more than a routine training session. Filipino supporters from across the world are flying into France in staggering numbers. Expats, longtime tennis fans, families, students, and travelers are all taking time out of their lives, purchasing expensive tickets, and filling the stands simply for the chance to witness this extraordinary young woman in person. The passion is impossible to ignore. And honestly, the scale of this moment cannot be overstated. For decades, professional tennis has largely been dominated by athletes from Europe and North America. The sport's biggest stars, its richest histories, and its most celebrated champions have traditionally come from the same handful of countries. But now, a young Filipina from Southeast Asia is breaking through those barriers and bringing an entirely new audience into the global spotlight. Alexandra Eala is not just winning matches, She is reshaping the landscape of modern tennis. The 2026 season became the turning point when the rest of the world finally realized this movement was real. Even Eala herself admitted that, at first, she struggled to fully understand the magnitude of her growing fame. She reportedly thought there was no way she could possibly be that famous. But then the signs became impossible to ignore. Week after week, the crowds kept getting larger. Match tickets disappeared within minutes. Filipino flags multiplied throughout stadiums across Europe. Social media engagement exploded. Every tournament began feeling like a home event for her, no matter what country she played in. At that point, the truth became undeniable. Alexandra Eala was no longer just a talented rising player with potential. She had evolved into something much bigger, a global sporting icon carrying the hopes and pride of an entire nation. And perhaps the most fascinating part of this story is that her fellow players are noticing it too. Several stars on the WTA Tour have openly expressed amazement at the atmosphere surrounding her matches. Many have described the energy as electric, emotional, and completely different from anything they usually experience on tour. Whenever Eala steps onto the court, the volume inside the stadium changes instantly. The passion from her supporters creates an environment that doesn't just elevate her matches, it elevates the entire sport. But what makes Alexandra Eala truly remarkable is the way she is handling this overwhelming wave of global attention. Despite the fame, despite the viral headlines, despite the roaring crowds following her every move, she continues to carry herself with calmness, humility, and maturity far beyond her years. While the world around her grows louder and more chaotic, Eala remains focused on improving her game, staying disciplined, and embracing the responsibility that now comes with representing millions of people. That balance between superstar charisma and grounded determination is exactly why so many fans are connecting with her story. Because this is no longer just about tennis. This is about representation. This is about history. This is about a young woman proving that greatness can emerge from anywhere in the world. And as the French Open continues, one thing is becoming increasingly clear to everyone watching. Alexandra Eala is not simply the future of tennis anymore. She is rapidly becoming one of its biggest stars right now. This pressure cooker moment at Roland Garros and how she has managed to rise into it with such remarkable composure. What makes Alexandra Eala's story so compelling is not just the scale of her success, but the timing of it. She is entering the most intense phase of her career at exactly the point where expectation, visibility, and competitive difficulty all collide. Very few athletes ever experience this combination so early in their journey. Her breakthrough into the WTA Top 50 marked a historic milestone not only for her personally, but for Philippine tennis as a whole. Becoming the first Filipino player to reach that level in women's tennis represents a shift that goes far beyond rankings. It signals the arrival of a new presence in the global tennis ecosystem, one that expands the sport's geographic and cultural boundaries in a meaningful way. Reaching a career high of world number 29 soon after only reinforced the reality that her rise is not accidental or temporary. It is the result of sustained development, discipline, and elite-level consistency. But rankings alone do not explain the atmosphere now surrounding her at Roland Garros. The draw this year has placed her in one of the most demanding opening round scenarios imaginable. Facing a top 20 opponent like Ivana Jovic, an American rising star who has dominated much of the clay court season, is already a significant challenge on paper. Add to that the emotional complexity of the matchup. Two players who know each other well, have trained together, and have even shared success in doubles partnerships throughout the year. It transforms the match from a standard first-round encounter into something far more psychologically intricate. On court, familiarity often creates tension rather than comfort. Every pattern is known. Every weakness has been studied. Every instinct has been tested in practice. And yet, in a Grand Slam setting, all of that familiarity must be suppressed under the weight of competition. Friendship becomes secondary. Strategy becomes primary. Emotion becomes something to control rather than express. And layered on top of that is the external environment, the crowd, the expectations, the global attention that now follows Eala wherever she goes. This is where her maturity becomes one of her defining strengths. Despite the noise surrounding her rapid rise, Alexandra Eala has consistently emphasized a grounded perspective. She has openly acknowledged the importance of protecting her mental and physical well-being, even while embracing the responsibility of representing millions of fans. That balance is not easy. In fact, for most athletes, it takes years, sometimes decades, to develop. The demands of professional tennis are relentless. Travel, recovery, constant performance pressure, and the emotional toll of wins and losses that are magnified on the biggest stages. Yet what stands out most is her clarity. She understands that admiration from the crowd, while powerful and motivating, cannot become a substitute for discipline or focus. Her priority remains her craft, improving her game, building consistency, and competing at the highest level without losing herself in the process. This mindset is precisely why her rise has been so steady rather than chaotic. Instead of being overwhelmed by early success, she has absorbed it, adapted to it, and continued progressing. Now, as she steps into this first-round clash in Paris, the stakes are layered on multiple levels: professional, emotional, and symbolic. It is not just a match between two talented players. It is a test of how well a rising global figure can manage expectation while still performing at peak level under the brightest spotlight. And as the tournament begins, one thing is certain: all eyes will be watching to see whether Alexandra Eala's extraordinary composure can translate into yet another defining chapter in her already historic journey. This historic moment in France requires a deeper look at the foundations that built Alexandra Eala into the player she is today, and why her rise feels so significant in the context of modern tennis. To understand the scale of her impact, it is essential to trace her journey back to its earliest chapters, long before stadiums filled with flags, viral videos, and global headlines. Born in the Philippines, Alexandra Eala first picked up a tennis racket at just 4 years old, introduced to the sport by her grandfather. What began as a simple childhood introduction quickly evolved into something far more serious, as her natural talent became impossible to ignore. But raw ability alone was never going to be enough to reach the highest levels of the sport. At the age of 12, an age when most children are still immersed in school routines and everyday life, she made a decision that would define her entire future. Eala left her home country, her family environment, and the familiarity of her upbringing to move across the world to Mallorca, Spain. Her destination was the renowned Rafa Nadal Academy, a training environment known not just for developing tennis players, but for shaping elite competitors with a specific identity, discipline, resilience, and an uncompromising standard of effort. It was not a comfortable transition. It was a transformation. Life at the academy demanded more than skill. It demanded sacrifice. Hours of physical training, strict routines, technical refinement, and constant pressure to improve created an environment designed to push athletes beyond their limits. For Eala, this became the foundation of her competitive identity. Under the structure of the academy and the influence of Rafael Nadal's legacy, she absorbed a mentality built on endurance, humility, and relentless work ethic. That influence is visible in her game today. Like Nadal, she is a left-handed player who thrives on intensity, long rallies, and mental toughness in difficult moments. But beyond technical similarities, it is the mindset that stands out most. The refusal to surrender, the willingness to suffer through difficult matches, the belief that physical exhaustion is not a limitation, but a condition to be overcome. After breaking into the WTA Top 50, Eala reached a symbolic milestone that further highlighted her unique position in the sport. She became one of the few players trusted to hit practice sessions alongside Rafael Nadal himself during his brief retirement phase. For her, it was not a casual training moment. It was an intense, demanding experience that left a lasting impression. She later described feeling nervous under his presence, but also deeply inspired by the intensity he brought even to practice sessions. That exposure to greatness has clearly shaped her competitive mentality. In one of her recent hard-fought 3-set victories in Rome against Magdalena Frech, she revealed a striking insight into her mindset on court. She told herself she wasn't tired enough to stop pushing. It was not just motivation, it was conditioning. A reflection of years spent in environments where limits are constantly challenged and discomfort is treated as part of the process. This is the mentality of an elite athlete in formation. However, translating that training ground intensity into success on the red clay of Roland Garros is a far more complex challenge. Because this is no longer just about tennis. This is about representation. This is about history. This is about a young woman proving that greatness can emerge from anywhere in the world. And as the French Open continues, one thing is becoming increasingly clear to everyone watching. Alexandra